Welcome to today's class. Thank you so much for being here with me. Let's begin in a comfortable seated position. And I have a towel blanket handy here just to cushion my knees for part of today's practice. And I invite you to do the same if you tend to have tender knees. So settling into our seats, drawing the spine up long, letting the eyes gently close, resting the hands on the knees or thighs, finding a long, straight spine, breathing deeply in and out. One more time, in and out, letting something go, letting the week go. And now allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Feeling the points of contact between the parts of your body that are touching, your hands and your legs, the legs touching one another. Feeling now the sense of the body touching the earth, the mat. Feeling the body heavy on the mat as though the earth was holding you up in space. Taking a moment to set an intention for today's class, perhaps the intention to return to the breath with each posture. And if at any time during today's class you are feeling pain or discomfort, either physically or emotionally, if you're feeling overly activated, please back away from your edge. Back away, back out of the posture, or perhaps even return to a posture that feels safe for your body, perhaps seated here, perhaps on the back. And once more, taking a deep breath in and out, allowing the eyes to gently open as we begin to move into our physical practice for today. Let's begin just gently warming up the body, dropping chin to chest and rolling the neck very gently side to side, waking it up a bit, and dropping left ear to left shoulder, perhaps walking those right fingertips out, perhaps even shaking the head up and down, gently turning, and rolling over to the right side, right ear to right shoulder, walking the left fingertips out, giving yourself that turn of the head. Loosening up through that tight neck and coming up to a neutral neck, neutral spine, taking a few shoulder rolls each direction as we continue to awaken through the body, rolling through the wrists, both ways, getting them ready, perhaps extending the fingers and waking up the hands, and dropping now left hand to the mat and reaching right arm up and over for a nice gentle side body stretch here. Right hip stays heavy on the mat, perhaps looking up toward the sky. And inhaling the arms up, dropping right hand to the mat, and bringing left arm up and over side body opener. Left hip tailbone is heavy, gazing up toward the sky if that feels nice for your neck here. And inhaling back through center, dropping now the left hand to the right knee, placing the right hand behind you on the mat, and just gently turning to look over that right shoulder for a little twist here. Breathing in, breathing out, and taking that twist on the other side, right hand to left knee, turning to look over the left shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out, and coming back through center. Let's bring our feet out in front of us, soles of the feet together for seated bound angle. Drawing the spine up long. Hands might touch the shins, the calves, the ankles, perhaps reaching toward the toes here. And hinging forward at the hips, drawing the chest toward those feet, opening up through the hips and low back. You might find a little movement here through the shoulders, through the knees, whatever feels good for your body right now. Perhaps even giving yourself a little foot massage while you're here. And now walking those hands forward, taking it just a little bit deeper into the posture. Before walking both hands to the left, breathing in, breathing out, and walking both hands over to the right now, breathing in and breathing out, and coming back through center, rolling up to seated one vertebra at a time, and beginning to take a few cat-cows here in this seated position. You can also take your legs back to cross-legged if that was more comfortable for you. Tipping the tailbone up, opening the chest for a cow spine, breathing in, and arching the spine, tucking the tail, exhaling for cat. Inhaling cow, and exhaling cat. Inhaling cow, and exhaling cat. Coming back to a neutral spine now, reaching the legs long in front of you for staff pose. Hands can come to the sides of the hips, giving you a little bit of traction to draw the spine up long before inhaling, arms up to the sky, and hinging forward at the hips, reaching for shins, ankles, toes, whatever feels good for your body, bringing the chest toward the shins, so staying as far up as is needed to have a flat spine rather than rounding too much into the spine. That can put pressure on the low back. Breathing in, breathing out, and inhaling, arms up to the sky. Let's take now the right leg out to the side and tuck that left leg in. So you might tuck it in quite tight. It might be a little bit farther out. You can also pad underneath the knee here with a blanket or pillow if that would feel more comfortable for you. Taking hands to either side of the thigh and turning to face the chest toward those toes, beginning to walk forward into head to knee pose. You can go as deep into the posture as feels good for you today, not pushing past an edge that brings you into discomfort, but sensation is welcome. Inhaling here, exhaling, inhaling, raising the arms up toward the sky, dropping the left hand to the mat, sweeping right arm up and over for a little side body stretch here before bringing the right hand toward those right toes once more, reaching up and over with the left arm, turning to look up toward the sky if that feels good for you, finding a revolved head to knee pose here, and inhaling, right arm up and over, exhaling back to that revolved head to knee. Let's flow through that a few more times as we wake up the spine, wake up the body, move something through our tissues. And on this sweep, I'm going to raise my hips toward the ceiling for a rock star. I invite you to join me if that feels good for your body right now. And once more, really opening up through that side body, wherever you are, before dropping hips to the mat. Let's now bring our right foot, right leg long in front of us. And let's cross our left leg over the right. Thank you, Xena. Thank you for half Lord of the Fishes pose. I invite you to reach the right arm up, finding length in the spine before hugging the left knee with the right elbow, the right arm. You might place that left hand behind you and turn to look over the left shoulder. And releasing, reaching that left leg long, perhaps wiggling out the legs, giving them a little shake. And now we'll take that on the other side. So reaching left leg long, tucking the right foot in, turning chest toward the foot, and walking those hands out. Finding your head to knee pose here. You might be up quite high. If you're finding that the hamstring is particularly tight and that it's difficult for you to even find a forward fold at all in this pose, you can always keep the knee bent or put something like a blanket towel under the knee, offering a little bit more support, meeting your body wherever it is. And now sweeping that right arm over, left arm up and over, before sweeping left hand toward the left toes, reaching right arm up and over, turning up to look toward the sky. Breathing in, breathing out, and inhaling. Let's sweep that left arm up and over, and coming back to revolved head to knee. Inhaling, sweeping up and over. Exhaling, revolved head to knee. Inhaling, this time I'm going to lift the hips to the sky. And exhaling. And inhaling. Up to rock star. And exhaling. Before returning to center, bringing that left leg long now in front of me, stepping the right foot outside the left. Sweeping the left arm up, giving myself a hug here over the right knee. Right hand comes behind me on the mat just to give me a little bit of extra length in the spine as I gently turn to gaze over the right shoulder. And returning to center, giving the legs a little shake. Walking once more, hands toward my feet. And walking back to staff posture, staff pose. And now I'm going to bend my knees. I invite you to do the same and plant my feet on the floor. I'm going to plant my hands behind me on the mat, and I'm going to lift my hips on an inhale toward the sky, and on the exhale, I'm going to bring my hips to the mat, sweeping both of my arms up and over, and finding a cactus posture with the arms opening up through the chest and upper back. Inhaling, arms up to the sky, exhaling, down, inhaling, reverse table, exhaling, back to staff, inhaling, arms up, exhaling, cactus, inhaling, arms up, exhaling, hands to the mat. And now, bending the knees, bringing the knees toward the chest, I'm going to lean back just a bit here and give my legs a nice windshield wiper, side to side, just letting the knees fall, not forcing them past their natural end point here. And coming back through center, let's meet in table. I'm going to use a blanket to pad my knees for the next little bit here. And so if you have tender knees, I invite you to do the same. A towel works, a pillow works, anything you've got handy. All right, so finding a top position, knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders, drawing the spine long, breathing in, breathing out, inhaling, tipping the hips up, looking up for cow, and exhaling, tucking the tail, stretching the spine for cat. Exhaling cow, inhaling cat, exhaling cow, inhaling cat. And coming back through table, turning to look over the left shoulder at the left hips, and taking it to the right, continuing to open up through the side body here. Nice. Connecting with the breath. And coming back through center, stepping the right toes back before crossing the right foot behind the left ankle and turning to look over the left shoulder at those right toes now, finding an even deeper side body stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. Coming through table, stepping the left toes back, crossing the left toes behind the right thigh, and turning to look over the right shoulder at those left toes. Breathing in, breathing out, and coming back through table. Inhaling, stepping those right toes back once more, reaching the left arm long, perhaps floating those right toes off the mat for balancing table. I invite you to stay here, or if you want to find a little dynamic movement in this posture, you can add a little cat-cow spine in this posture here. Continuing to awaken through that spine. Breathing here. And returning to table, stepping left toes back, reaching right fingers forward, perhaps floating those left toes off the mat. You might stay here in balancing table, or you might find that cat-cow spine, finding a little dynamic movement. And returning to table. Inhaling the right arm up. And exhaling, threading the needle behind the left wrist, bringing the right ear, right shoulder to the mat, perhaps reaching those left fingers long. Feeling the stretch on the back of the shoulder, breathing in, breathing out. Bringing the left hand back under the left shoulder, inhaling, sweeping the right arm up. Exhaling, let's turn that into a flow, sweeping through to thread the needle. Inhaling to the sky, exhaling, threading. Once more, inhaling to the sky and exhaling, thread the needle. And finding table once more. Inhaling now, left arm to the sky. Exhaling, threading the needle, bringing left ear, left shoulder to the mat. Reaching those right fingers long. Inhaling, exhaling, feeling the posture. Bringing right hand back under the right shoulder. Inhaling, left arm up. And let's flow with that. Exhaling, threading the needle. Inhaling, opening. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, open to the sky. And exhale, thread that needle. And once more, finding table. Bringing the knees as wide as the mat, bringing toes to touch, setting the hips back toward the heels, walking those fingers forward, and only coming as far back with the hips as feels comfortable. So if you're here and this is your comfort zone for today, please honor that. You can always bring a bolster or pillow or blanket, even a block, to support the seat and create a little bit more space there. Inhaling here, exhaling before pressing back up through table. Walking the hands forward now and finding your plank position. You might stay here on the knees. You might lift the toes, whatever feels good for you. And slowly, with care, let's lower all the way to the mat. Untucking the toes, pressing all 10 toes into the mat. Thighs are active, bringing the hands below the shoulders. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. And inhaling, lifting chest gently off the mat. Exhaling, back down. Inhaling, up to cobra. Exhaling, back down. And one last time, inhaling, up to cobra. Exhaling, back to the mat. And now, continuing to keep the toes pressed into the mat, reaching the arms long. Bend the right knee, bring right hand under that shoulder, and open up toward the left side, left side of your mat, or scorpion. The left foot can come to rest on the mat or the floor behind the right leg. And let's take that on the other side, bending the right knee, bringing right hand, right shoulder, rolling over, opening up to the right side of the mat, Bringing perhaps right foot to the floor behind you. And coming back through center. Let's try that as a little bit of a flow. So you can always bend both knees or you can switch out your legs, whatever works for you. Inhaling, rolling over, exhaling through center, inhaling to scorpion, exhaling through center, inhaling, scorpion, exhaling through center, inhaling, scorpion, exhaling through center. Fabulous. And now let's reach the fingers behind us, and on an inhale, lift toes, thighs, chest, forehead off of the floor, strengthening through the back body for just a moment. You might even reach arms forward in more of a Superman, whatever feels best for your body today. And lowering back down to the mat, pressing back up through plank, tucking the toes, and lifting hips toward the sky, dropping heels toward the mat, pressing through all four corners of the hands for downward facing dog. You might bend and straighten the knees here. You might shift hips from side to side, whatever feels good in your body. And on the next inhale, lifting right foot up to the sky for three-legged dog, and bending that knee, opening through the hips. Inhaling back through three-legged dog, and finding your way back to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, bringing left leg up now, and exhaling, rolling that hip open, bending the knee, and inhaling, three-legged dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Coming back forward toward plank, dropping both knees to the mat, untucking the toes, and stepping the right foot between the thumbs. As many steps as it takes, you can always help yourself out if needed for a low lunge here. And you might bend and straighten that front knee a couple of times before really sinking into the hips. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling, sweeping right arm up for a nice twist. Exhaling, dropping right hand to the mat. Sitting the hips back for half split. And finding your way back to low lunge. Let's come to table for just one breath. Breathing in, breathing out. And now stepping the left foot between the thumbs. Maybe bending and straightening that left knee a few times, getting some movement here. And sinking into the hips. Breathing in, breathing out. Planting the right hand on the mat, opening up to the sky, reaching for the sky with those left fingers. And exhaling, hand to the mat, shifting hips back now for another half split. You might even be up here. And if this is a lot on your knee, you can always feel free to roll over your mat or put a blanket underneath it. And let's exhale forward to low lunge before stepping right foot up to meet the left at the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhaling here. Exhaling. And grasping opposite elbows, perhaps swaying side to side. Rolling up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Inhaling the arms up, reaching for the sky. Grasping the right wrist with the left hand, Bringing that up and over for a nice half moon. Inhaling through center, grasping left wrist with the right hand, bringing that up and over for a nice half moon. Inhaling back through center and exhaling for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale here. Exhale, left foot back for a nice low lunge. Stepping right foot back to meet left in plank. Lowering body to the mat. Untucking the toes. Inhaling chest up in cobra. Exhaling down. Pressing back through child's pose. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhaling the left foot between the toes, tucking the right toes underneath and finding a low lunge here. Stepping the right toes to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Connecting with the breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhaling, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step right toes back, low lunge. Now, step left foot back for plank before lowering to the mat for cobra. Inhale into that cobra. Exhale, down, and press back to child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Coming forward to your plank once more before stepping the right toes forward for a nice low lunge. Stepping left toes to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, connecting with the breath. And inhaling, arms to the sky. Inhaling to one-legged mountain, raising that left foot off the floor. Grounding down through all four corners of the right foot. Stepping that leg back to crescent. Inhaling here. Exhaling, bringing hands to the heart. And making sure that your feet are about as wide as hip distance. Thinking railroad tracks and not a tightrope. We're going to take a revolved crescent. So one option is to bring the left hand to the outside of the right thigh and sweep that right arm up and back. Another option is to bring hands to the heart, bend forward, and bring the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Wherever you are, inhale here and exhale. Inhale, sweep left arm up and over, drop that left heel to the mat, sweep front arm up and out for warrior two. Flip that front palm, inhale, right arm up and back, reverse warrior. And exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, taking that reverse warrior one more time. And exhaling, turning to square the hips toward the front of the mat, widening those feet once more to hip distance if they're not there. Inhaling, arms up for warrior one. And exhaling, sweeping the arms down and back for devotional warrior. Inhaling, arms up, Warrior One, and exhale here, finding cactus arms, opening the chest. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling through Devotional Warrior once more. And then big sweep. Left arm up and back, right arm up and over for Reverse Warrior. Exhaling to Warrior Two here. Bring right forearm to the right thigh and sweep that left arm up and over for extended side angle. And now turn toward the mat, bringing hands to frame that right foot, low lunge. Now drop that left knee to the mat. Let's walk our right foot out to the outside of the mat, turn our foot at a 45-degree angle, and let that hip drop open. You can even bring your right hand to the hip here to help yourself open up through the hips. If you're feeling quite open, you might even drop down to the forearms in your lizard pose. Whatever you're doing, make sure you keep that right foot engaged, that right ankle engaged to protect the knee. Inhale here. Exhale. Let something go. If you're not already there, bring both hands to the mat below your shoulders. Then walk that right foot over behind the left ankle. Drop the right knee to the mat for pigeon. And if this is uncomfortable for any reason, you can always move to the back and thread the needle instead, or reclined pigeon. Figure 4. Breathing into the hips. Breathing in. Breathing out. And moving out of pigeon, slowly, gently finding a table. Hands under the shoulders. Knees under the hips. Before bringing toes to touch. Knees as wide as the mat. Sitting the hips back for a nice child's pose. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Coming back through table. Tucking the toes, finding a plank, lifting hips toward the sky. Sweeping the right leg up, exhaling, stepping between the toes, low lunge. Step left foot to meet right at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, arms to the sky, lifting that right foot off the mat now for one-legged mountain, pressing evenly through all 4 corners of the left foot. Exhaling, stepping back into crescent, making sure you've got a nice wide base, at least as wide as your hips. And exhaling, finding revolved crescent on this side, so left hand or right hand to the outside of the left thigh, left arm sweeps up and back, or hands to the heart, leaning forward, bringing that right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Wherever you are, breathe in, breathe out, and exhale, big sweep. Right arm up and back, left arm reaches forward, Warrior Two. Flip the front palm, inhale, left arm up and back, exhale, back through Warrior Two. Inhale, flip that palm, reverse warrior. Exhale. We're going to square our hips to the front of the mat now. Inhale, arms up to the sky for Warrior One. Exhale, sweep those arms. Down and back, devotional warrior. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, cactus. Open the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, arms up. Once more, exhaling through devotional warrior. Before inhaling, sweeping right arm up and back, finding warrior two. Exhaling into reverse warrior. And bringing left forearm to left thigh, sweeping right arm up and over. Extended side angle. Turning chest toward the mat, spinning the heel up, low lunge. Walking that left foot out to the edge of the mat, dropping the right knee, untucking the toes, 45-degree angle with that left foot, and dropping the knee open. Perhaps giving yourself a nice adjustment here with the hand, if that feels good. If you're feeling really open, you can always come down to those forearms. Wherever you are, big breath in, deep breath out. And if you're not already pressed up to the hands, please do so now. Before walking that left foot behind the right wrist, drop the right hip toward the mat. Left knee comes behind left wrist. If you've got a lot of space here, you can always place a blanket, a block, pillow underneath your hip. Inhaling here and exhaling. And now let's find our way to table on all fours. Taking a deep breath in and deep breath out. Bringing toes to touch. Knees as wide as the mat. Sitting hips back. Walking hands forward. Bringing forehead, chest toward the mat for child's pose. Breathing in. Breathing out. Pressing back up through table and finding your way onto your back, where we will hug both knees into the chest, rock from side to side. Let those hips low back, release a bit here. Reaching the left leg long on the mat, bringing that right knee toward the armpit. Breathing in, breathing out. And now, with the left hand, bringing that knee across the body for a nice twist, keeping the right arm. Coming back through center, bringing both knees to the chest, breathing in, breathing out. Reaching the right leg long now. Left knee comes toward the armpit. Breathing in and breathing out. Now taking right hand to the outside of that left knee, bringing it across the body for a nice twist, reaching through the left fingertips. Breathing in, breathing out. Coming back to center, hugging both knees in, dropping feet to the mat, reaching arms long on the mat. Inhaling, lifting the hips toward the sky, finding a nice strong bridge pose here. Breathing in Breathing out. And rolling down one vertebra at a time, bringing the right ankle to rest upon the left knee, and bringing that whole shape toward you by grasping behind the hamstring or around the shin. Inhaling here for a nice hip opener. And now, sliding that knee a little bit closer, snuggling it in, taking one last twist. Knees drop to the left, right fingertips reach low. Breathing in, breathing out. And coming back through center, both feet come to the mat. Left ankle now comes to right knee, bringing that whole shape toward you, grasping either behind the hamstring or around the shin. Finding that hip opener. Breathing in, breathing out. Snuggling the knees together, dropping both knees toward the right side of the mat now, reaching long through those left fingertips. And coming back through center, hugging both knees in toward the chest, maybe making a little ball, and reaching everything long on the mat. Arms come to the sides, toes fall outward, legs long, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Melting into the mat with every exhale, allowing the yoga to melt into you, feeling the points of contact between your body and the mat, and by extension, the earth. Feel yourself fully supported in time and space, right here, right in this moment. Perhaps taking a moment to thank your body. Thank you, legs. Thank you, arms. Thank you, chest and belly. Thank you, back. Thank you, neck and head, muscles, organs, bodily fluids, nervous system. Thank you. And now beginning to awaken through the fingers and the toes, perhaps rolling through the wrists and ankles, reaching arms and legs long on the mat, turning toward your favorite side, taking a moment to savor the transition, the pause, the liminal space, before pressing up to a seated position. Finding a comfortable seat, long spine. Inhaling here. Exhaling once more. Honoring yourself with this time of rest and restoration is an amazing gift. And I'm so honored that you chose to spend this hour with me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.